From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather tonight.
Mostly cloudy skies hanging around during the overnight hours, and so with the northwest wind gusting up at times as well. Temperatures dropping out of the 40s into the 30s, but we're not going to get too far down because the clouds and the wind cranking up, acting to keep temperatures up a little bit. So we're only talking about mid-30s for overnight lows. Here's how they break down across the area. And it's one of those situations where they're pretty uniform on either side of the state line. You know, we don't see this too often. Mid-30s across both southern middle Tennessee and northwest Alabama. Maybe a few folks near the Tennessee River here in North Alabama, closer to the upper 30s. And then we start to break the clouds up as we head on through the morning hours of our Wednesday. The wind also settles down closer to midday and afternoon as well. Daytime highs tomorrow in the 40s. I think it's the lower half of the 40s over southern middle Tennessee, and it's the upper half of the 40s over northwest Alabama and northeast Mississippi as sunshine returns. And that sunshine with partly cloudy skies will be with us for the rest of the week. Quiet conditions around here. Now, Thursday night and Friday morning, maybe some flurries north of our area in northern and eastern Tennessee up into Kentucky, but I think that misses our local area to the north. Saturday, we're still partly cloudy and mostly sunny as well. As we get into Sunday, that's when the next weather system comes across. Now, this is the GFS model here showing a wintry mix across the area. That's not a guarantee. That's one model solution for Sunday's system. Here's how things break down. It's going to be one of two scenarios. Scenario one, which is what most of the models are going with, and I think it's the most likely scenario, and it's what our official forecast has, is for a surface low track that's farther north from Arkansas into northern Tennessee and into middle Kentucky. Should this verify, and I think it's most likely, we'll have milder air, and yes, there could be a little sleet mixing in during the first part of our Sunday, but temperatures will be above freezing, and the main situation would be rain instead of wintry weather, in addition to some gusty winds, especially Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. The less likely scenario, which is what that GFS model was showing, would be a surface low track off to our south over southern Mississippi, southern Alabama, and a few GFS runs have had it in the northern Florida Panhandle. That's not as likely, but we can't ignore it completely. If that were to hypothetically happen, that would mean colder air in place and better chances for wintry weather. But that looks not as likely for now. The northerly track looks more likely. So for now, that's our forecast. Rainy, windy conditions, maybe a little sleet mixing in, but temperatures above freezing on Sunday. We will watch it in case that tries to change. However, temperatures here are chilly for the foreseeable future. 40s on through the weekend for daytime highs, overnight lows bouncing between the mid-20s to the mid-30s, and then increasing evidence of much colder air coming by the middle of next week down to the mid-30s for daytime highs by next Tuesday. And that's just the start of it. Now, I can't tell you specifically how cold we're going to be the second half of next week, because that's going to play into how strong the trough of low pressure is, if there's any deep snowpack on the ground just to our north to help refrigerate the air. And those are things that I can't physically know this far ahead of time, more than 7 days out. I will start to have more confidence in that later in the week, and we'll start detailing those things as it becomes more certain. But the general pattern itself supports some big-time cold air the end of next week, middle and end of next week, the type of cold air where you need to winterize your vehicles, you need to make sure the pipes are protected and your homes are winterized, because we could be talking about lows well down into the teens or colder during the overnights, and daytime highs only in the 30s, if not below freezing for a few days. So maybe some prolonged cold coming here way too far out to try to guess if a winter system is going to come through with a snow or ice threat. Way too far out for that. We'll watch that as we get closer. Forecast for tonight here, mostly cloudy skies, dropping on through the 30s, but stopping around the mid-30s is where we hit our overnight lows toward daybreak. Then into the mid-40s tomorrow as the wind calms down by the midday and afternoon. Partly to mostly sunny here for Thursday and Friday, increasing clouds on Saturday, and then our rainy system Sunday into Sunday night. We'll watch to see how that goes, but for now I think it's rain, gusty winds, and maybe a little bit of sleet mixing in Sunday morning. Not a big deal with that, but we'll watch for changes. Lingering rain showers in the Monday, and then much colder air coming the middle of next week. That's your latest 7-day forecast. I'm filling in for Ben Luna tomorrow morning. I'll be here at 4 a.m. with your wake-up weather forecast.